What's going on, YouTube? We're 30 seconds. Actually, we're 25 seconds till we go to showtime. I just thought I'd say what's up to everybody watching on YouTube. We're about to go on here now in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We'll get this down. Let's go live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this episode of 541 Underground Live with your boy, bGrynch. Coming to you live. This is an Anarchy Incorporated media live stream production, and we got some things to talk about. So why don't we get right to it? I don't know. Let's talk. Got some fucked up things I want to talk to you guys about tonight. Some fucked up things that have been crossing my fucked up head, although I've seen and read a couple of articles that are fucked up, and everything is just fucked up. What's up, Brian? Everything is just fucked up. All right. Let us start with this link that I was sent. I was sent a link, okay, to a video, which is, what's up, Mitch? Which is about this dude who spent $12,000 on a lifelike fuck doll. Okay, now this is no shit. What's up, Holly? This dude spent 12 grand on a lifelike fuck doll, and there's actually a video of him fucking the fuck doll. Now, prosthetically and aesthetically, this fuck doll looks perfect in every single way. The only thing about this fuck doll is that it don't move. And the crazy thing about this fuck doll is that the dude's actually banging it on the video. Not only is he banging it, but he's banging it in the ass. Okay? Now, I'm assuming that the feeling behind fucking a fuck doll is so it could feel as real as possible. I mean, you gotta think of somebody who actually spends 12 grand on a fuck doll. So if you spend 12 grand on a fuck doll, you better be getting the real experience. What up, Mort? What up, Daphne? You better be getting the full experience of a fuck doll. The only thing I'm not crazy about the idea of a fuck doll is that this fuck doll would be like my first ex-wife. It'd just be a dead fuck. Wouldn't move, wouldn't do nothing. You know, and that's just a shame. You know, you spend $12,000 on something to stick your dick in, and it don't move or moan or nothing. It just lays there like a dead fuck, like you Ted Bundy or some shit fucking a dead person. The only thing is that the body's at room temperature, and you sticking your cock in a hole that is made of some kind of latex, I would think. I'm not exactly sure. But this doll looked incredible in every single facet of perfection. The only thing is that this dude actually busted a nut all over he undresses the fuck doll as he's fucking the fuck doll, and then he busts his nut. How you doing, Mindy? He busts his nut all over the fuck doll, which got me thinking, okay, now you got to clean that shit up. Okay, you got to clean up your own sperm off the fuck doll, because unlike a real woman, you just throw a rag at her and say, here, clean yourself off. I'm just kidding, ladies. I actually am more of a gentleman than that. But nevertheless, it's pretty much what happens. This guy actually has to get the rag himself and clean off his sperm, which brings me to a thought. What exactly happens, and how disgusting is it if this guy busts a nut inside the fuck doll? Okay, if he can't pull out, that means not only does he have to clean out the fucking sperm out of his fuck doll, but he has to actually get in the crevices, and then there's always going to be like dried up old sperm in there. And to me, that's just fucking nasty. If, like I said, if I want a dead fuck, I just call my first ex-wife and get it there. My watch is giving me the daily briefing. Why? It's not supposed to do that for another hour and a half. How odd. Yeah, but fuck dolls kind of creep me out a little bit. just a little bit. And then as we go on, I have a new love, as you all know, for midgets. I think midgets fucking rock. Midgets on Jerry Springer, midgets on fucking midgets in circuses, midgets on the street. This particular midget, I've done stories and stories about midgets. I fucking love midgets. There's nothing that I don't like about a midget. They're small people, they're little people, but they just like big people, just in small bodies. Well, I'm not going to talk about the midget ceremony of the wedding that they stole from the retards that I went on about. I told a story a couple of months back about that. And I'm not going to talk about the midget gang. But what I am going to talk about is an episode of Cops that I was sitting on my couch, stoned, and I was remembering this video clip from the show Cops. We all remember the show Cops. And this cop is trying to detain this little midget, this little black midget who's stacked, man. He was stacked, strong little fucking midget. Right? So the midget does to get away from the cop? He literally wraps his arms around a pole and starts shucking himself up a light pole. This motherfucker got away from the cop by climbing a light pole. Cop ain't can climb no fucking light pole. Was he going to call the fire department to get this midget off of the lamppost? No. What happens is the midget comes down on his own, and the cop doesn't arrest the midget. What ends up happening is this cop actually gets this midget a job, so the midget don't have to panhandle. And the midget becomes a very successful midget, being a midget at a midget club with midget bouncers. So midgets everywhere. I would love to go to a midget club, meet a midget girl, and have a sexual experience with a midget. I like those small petite girls anyway. Midgets, man. They just fascinate me. Love me some midgets. Anyway, speaking of relationships and midgets and whatnot, I like to date my girls in the 5'2", 5'3", size. That's just preference. It's not a necessity. But an ex-girlfriend of mine and I just got into this really heated argument the other day over bullshit. Okay? Well, I had just gotten my delivery from the dispensary. So I screw in my cartridge to my pen and I take a couple of rips, and all of a sudden, man, I ain't mad no more. Totally fucking cool, man. Everything is good. And this bitch is just, yeah. And I'm like, babe, why don't you just cool down a little bit? You know what I'm saying? We could talk this out. She said, ugh. So finally, I got to shove the pen right in her face and say, you need to fucking take a hit or two off of this. And she does. Argument over. Argument over. Marijuana helps heal relationships. Let's just put it that way. Even though I'm no longer with that bitch, and I won't be, ever. Because she is a skeezy little bitch. But nevertheless, marijuana calmed down the situation. Isn't that great? Yeah, it is. Something over the weekend that devastated me. 59-year-old Rob Garrison died. Now, if you don't know who Rob Garrison is and you're just a little kid, all right, back in 1984, there was a movie called The Karate Kid. Y'all probably know of it from Will Smith's son or some shit doing it. But the real Karate Kid had Ralph Macchio in it. And it's a fucking badass movie for 1984. I think 1984 was like the year of all the classic movies that came out, like The Goonies and Karate Kid and Gremlins. And I mean, just a bunch of movies came out of the 80s that they're trying to copy now and from the 90s and the 2000s, the new millennium and whatnot. Nothing compares to the 80s. Anyway, to get back to my point, Rob Garrison, who played Tommy in The Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid, he passed away now. This kid, Tommy, was part of the gang of five that used to beat up on Danielson, the Karate Kid. Now, at the end of the movie, he has the one line, and it's the best line of the entire movie. This guy's got one line in the movie. It's the best line in any movie ever, okay? Ralph Macchio, Daniel's son, is getting ready to fight John or whatever the fucking guy's name is from the Cobra Kai's. And this is when Ralph Macchio goes and goes for the fucking crane kick. And then all of a sudden from the background, you hear Tommy yell, "You get him a body bag! Get him a body bag!" No, Tyrone, I wasn't speaking to you. Tyrone's hanging out with my son outside the bedroom. My son's here chilling. I asked him to come on the show. He was like, "Dad, I'm not a fucking retard." So I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, "Give him a body bag." Best fucking line in the movie. Because right afterwards, the ref says fucking fight. Ralph Macchio throws that crane kick, knocks the shit out of Johnny. Johnny goes down. The fight's over. Ralph Macchio wins, and everybody loves it. Everybody's happy. Elizabeth Shue comes running out on the mat to give him a hug. Everybody comes down from the fucking bleachers. They can't believe what the fuck is going on because Ralph Macchio just beat this badass motherfucker that he trained for by some old Chinese guy, Okinawa guy, for like 2 weeks and became a karate master just by cleaning up his backyard. Anyway, cool movie. Check it out. Look for the end part where the guy goes, "Get him a body bag." Best part of the whole fucking movie. So anyway, let's get back to me. This is kind of a funny story. 2 nights ago, I was asked out by this very, very pretty female. I was actually asked over to her house for dinner. Okay. And I accepted the invitation, but I told her, I said, I don't drive. And she says, "Don't worry about it. I'll Uber you there and I'll Uber you home," because everybody knows bGrynch broke as fuck. So yeah, if you're going to love me, you got to love me for me because I'm mentally disturbed and I'm broke as fuck. So there it is. It's all out there. Now you all know. So if you already didn't know. So anyway, I Uber out to this girl's house. We have a great night. Okay, great night. Dinner was great. The sex was great. Everything was great. Then she calls me an Uber to get home, and the Uber pulls up. And as I'm getting into the Uber, she says, "Drive carefully," or no, "Get home carefully. Call me when you get home." So that just struck me as kind of weird because it's like, well, first of all, sweetheart, tell the fucking driver to drive carefully because I'm sitting in the backseat getting chauffeured. Number one. Number two, call you when I get home. What, so you can make sure I got home okay? So you can make sure I didn't have your Uber guy drive me to another fucking bitch's place or a bar or something? You can't even do that with the Uber guys. I just thought it was weird. Call me when you get home. I'm like, did I call her when I got home? Yes, because I got home, because she was very hospitable, hostess, and I'm that kind of gentleman. But I just thought it was weird, I don't think I'd be seeing her again because a girl that tells you call her when you get home on the first date, that's a possessive motherfucker right there. There's something going on that's not right in the fucking head. So I kind of was thinking about that and figured I'd share it with you. I got a new chain for my Buddha, by the way. Someone ripped my other one off, my red string, and Mom's bought me a new chain. I like it. It works. So what were we just talking about? Oh, we were talking about Down syndrome love. Yes, these 2 Down syndrome teenagers fell in love. How you doing, Susan? And it was a beautiful thing. These 2 Down syndrome kids went to the prom together. Now, there are a lot of Down syndrome people. I just did a story a couple of weeks ago about a 34-year-old, I don't know how old he was actually, Down syndrome guy who worked for McDonald's for 34 years and retired. Down syndrome people ain't fucking stupid, man. They're pretty smart. You know what I mean? They just look all fucked up. But these 2 Down syndrome teenagers went to prom together and it made the news. I think if anything, I think that's offensive. Okay. That because of 2 Down syndrome teens going to the prom together makes the news. That's bad. You see, all you guys think that I'm fucked up because I say, oh, Down syndrome people got this fucked up face and all that shit. But you want to know something? The fact that the news, there's a story about 2 Down syndrome kids being in love and going to the prom, that's fucked up because what they're saying is they're segregating Down syndrome people to normal people, to normal-minded people, to people without mental disabilities. Okay, and they're saying even though they have Down syndrome, they could still love each other and go to the prom. Let's put this in the news. Fuck that kind of media, because that's fucked up, YouTube. That's fucked up, Facebook. I'm telling you right now, the news is worse than I am. And if Facebook was on this fucking news, I'd report their ass. It's Facebook. Did I just say Facebook was on this? If the news was on the Facebook, I'd report their ass, because that's just bullshit. People call me out because I fucking talk about midgets and Down syndrome people. Meanwhile, the news making a mockery of fucking Down syndrome kids and adults and whatnot. Like the fucking Down syndrome guy can't fucking retire from a fucking job. They have to make it newsworthy. What about the Down syndrome guy that opened up his own restaurant called Hugs, and he didn't charge nobody? All right? He charged him with hugs. That's a cool fucking story, if you ask me. I'm sure you guys might have seen that in the news. No? Maybe? Yeah. The restaurant was called Hugs. Ran and owned and founded by a Down syndrome guy, which shows you that they're intelligent people. But yeah, that's Down syndrome for you. You know, crazy. The news is fucked up. The media is fucked up. So speaking about the media, I read this article about this mom, okay, left her toddler in the workout room for 45 seconds. Now, I don't know how they came up with 45 seconds, because I didn't know if this bitch was timing herself going to the bathroom, but she ran into the bathroom for extremely 45 seconds. Someone is flashing, yo. Oh, yeah. All right, so I might be hosting this. Let me get this off my screen, otherwise it's going to bother the shit out of me. I might be interviewing this rapper next week by the name of Serious Gambino. I suggest you all tune in, check his videos out on YouTube, Serious Gambino, and you get a little preview of what he's like. It's if I actually get to interview him, because usually he shines out on me and I get pissed, and then we go months and months without talking, and then we end up getting into it. Tyrone, is that you listening to the TV? Tyrone, you need to lower that shit. You getting on the air like that. Sorry about that. Tyrone be getting all my thoughts jumbled up when I hear shit in the background. I don't know what the fuck they doing out there, Spencer and Tyrone. They causing all sorts of trouble, Spencer and Tyrone. So anyway, this lady left for the bathroom for 45 seconds. How they calculated 45 seconds is beyond me, but she says that she was gone for 45 seconds. When she returned, her toddler was on the treadmill at full speed, holding onto the bars for dear life, all right, with his feet dragging as the treadmill fucking conveyor belt rolled on the highest speed possible. Now, how this kid didn't lose his grip, drop, and get flung into a fucking wall, that could have been devastating. I mean, it would have been funny as fuck, but it could have been devastating as well. You know, I would love to just walk into a room and see a little Tyler just as his grip lets go and he fucking falls on the conveyor belt of a treadmill and goes flying in a fucking wall. I wouldn't want to see the Tyler get hurt or nothing. You know, I wouldn't want to see any blood or broken fingers. But then little fucking Tyler's got, you know, soft bones and shit. So they're able to fucking fall out of windows and fall off treadmills and fall off bikes and not get all that hurt, right? Right. How y'all liking this new time slot? It's 10 p.m. time slot, 7 on the West Coast. I'm kind of digging it. Yeah, mom didn't get any kind of trouble. She didn't do nothing wrong. But nevertheless, the kid is traumatized. We're probably never good. You know, I traumatized my son once, all right, because I told him not to go on boats with my first ex-wife because she was a drunk and her boyfriend was a drunk, and I didn't want him going out on boats. Now, this motherfucker won't go out on boats at all. I like scared it into him. I don't know about now. Hey, Spence. Yeah. Do you go out on boats now? What? Are you afraid of boats still? Afraid of boats? No. Okay. He's no longer afraid of boats. Okay, but he was. Because I fucking put that shit in him not to go on boats. Then I tried to get him out on a boat once. What's up, Jesse? I once tried to get him out on a boat once, and that shit just wasn't happening at all. New. How you doing, Sheila? This Sudanese black woman was offered 10 grand to bleach her skin. She's considered the queen of the dark because she is the blackest woman on earth. And she is absolutely gorgeous. She's a model. Okay. She's a Sudanese model. And she's called the queen. The only thing you could see on this bitch are her teeth and maybe a little bit of her eyes. Okay. Because she is black as night. Okay. And someone wants to offer this beautiful Nubian princess a bleach job for 10 grand. I'd be like, fuck you, dude. I'm the blackest bitch on earth. She said no. She refused, which is cool because whatever. A couple of new laws came into effect today in Florida. Just so you know that if you're caught with a cell phone in your hand in your car, you will get pulled over and ticketed. A cell phone, even just in your hand, you will get ticketed. Also, hurting a police dog or killing a police dog or a police horse is a second-degree felony now. And there's no more hazing. You can't haze anybody, any college hazing or any sports hazing or any gang hazing. That's right. If you get yourself locked up in like some kind of gang and they want to haze you, you could be like, excuse me, gang members. All right. I will not shoot an innocent person. You will not laugh at me because hazing is now illegal. And that's how you have to put it to them. And they'll be like, wow, man, we got a gang member now that knows the law. Maybe he could be our lawyer. Or maybe not. Yeah, so that's crazy. Another law that went into the effect today is that no more, as we were talking about earlier, sex dolls, no more childlike sex dolls are allowed in the U.S. anymore because they're sent over from China. So you are not allowed to own a child fuck doll, which to me is completely fucking disgusting. If you have to own a child fuck doll, because that just screams, actually, of course it screams pedophile and fucked up person. But, and of course you say to yourself, well, I'd rather see them fuck a fuck doll than an actual living person. The fact of the matter is that somebody got to fuck something that looks like a little kid. That's fucked up. I'm 45 years old. I date bitches in their 20s. They're not little kids. Why do people call me a pedophile? That's fucked up. As long as I date people that are older than my son, that's the deal we have. As long as they're older than my son, who is 25, then I'm good to go. We won't tell anybody about that 24-year-old bitch I banged the other day, okay? Anyway, let's get down to the quote of the week before let's wrap things down here. But the quote of the week is, ready for my sugar daddy so I can drive his Benz while he on dialysis. Ready for my sugar daddy so I can drive his Benz while he on dialysis. Because what the fuck else is he doing but sitting there? He can't move? So that was kind of funny. Quote of the week. Urban Dictionary word of the day is NOJ. NOJ. NOJ is someone who is being pronounced guilty. Okay? Like OJ. But instead, this motherfucker actually didn't do nothing. He's like a NOJ, the opposite of OJ. He's like, I'm NOJ. I'm NOJ. I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit. I'm NOJ. I'm NOJ. Anyway, that's just all about time we have for today. I've been trying to make these shows shorter, and the intro may become even longer. I don't know why, but that's just the way it works. 1 second, I'm just going to say goodbye to my YouTube crowd. YouTube crowd, peace out. All right? All right, because I got to properly say goodbye to my Facebook pals. Am I sure I want to end? Yes, I want to fucking end. So